Yeah, the maybe a recorder, a power bracelet, raft. Maybe have one of those be required, and not just have every single level just free and easy.
Yeah, we're off
And
and starting right away in the desert, and they find level 3 in the desert shop here. So both runners look like they're going to do a little exploration, but will probably not continue too long, especially with things like fires and stuff in here.
yeah, those 3 fires might hold the item, but getting a free key, maybe finding a bomb pickup would be great. But Garion, oh, hello, Meat Block. That's probably not going to be blocking anything.
Yeah, the good thing about that is you have a room to the north here, and with level 3, level 2, and level 1, you can access every room from every other room unless there is an old man or a corridor staircase that dictates differently, but that's nice because they now know meat is not required.
It does look like it might save him a key, so depending on what the key situation is like, there have been some really key rough seeds lately too.
Absolutely. We have Garion heading up to the northeast to check out the Arma statue and a few open caves up here, while Purity is checking out Start. What they are doing is they're checking all available open caves for sword, because, well, the sword isn't where it normally is, and that's their best way of combat. So they will be looking in all the open caves because the sword is guaranteed to be there. They are also going to check the Arma statues because one of the 5 Arma statues will have a free item that may help them in their exploration as well.
They're going to have to watch out because it looks like there are wizards on the overworld. They're not going to be in dungeons today, and that can be really rough if they're all over the place. They haven't made many appearances. A lot of moblins, that's nice, though.
Absolutely, and we see the small secret, and that's 18 rupees, so at least on the terms of the small side, they are getting quite a bit out of it, so that should help them, especially if bomb prices are low. That's really where I make a comparison between the small secret and shop prices, is the bomb prices, because if it helps me out get 3 or 4 packs of bombs, I'm okay with that.
And Purity saw one of the 2 hint caves on the overworld. Because we're dealing with mixed hints, it could be useful information, it could be bad information. And the large secret is only 61, that's rough.
Yeah, so much for this being a rupee-friendly seed.
Well, if the medium rolls up to 40, that would help a lot, but 61, that is a lot of money missing.
Yeah, we have our standard cost of a door repair. It's 20 rupees there, so not the best when you have 61 large secrets. You don't want to see a door repairer take much more than the minimum amount, and Garion takes death to the Armos, which we see is also just a cave, so that's 2 Armoses down that do not have our item.
Purity doing some nice screen scrolling there to the southwest corner and gets robbed for his efforts.
So we have Garion returning to the forest. He's going to check out this Armos and see what he can find. Takes a bot from the ZP hat, but door repair, luckily he doesn't have any money to have to pay anything.
Yeah, these red wizrobes in the forest can be really rough, especially when they're in one of those progressive spawn things where there's one, then there's another, and they're all just firing. Level 9 found by Garion under that other Armos. Not going to come back there until he's got all 8 Triforce pieces.
Yeah, Purity heading up towards the grave right now, so pretty soon we will see the Armos item up in this area, as long as we can make it over, because, well, we've been known to jinx our runners by saying that. But Garion, meanwhile, is checking out level 2, which is covered by blue wizrobes, and we have level 4 here.
Yeah, as soon as you saw the 6 blue wizrobes, you're like, yeah, there's got to be a level of importance here, right? That's how the game does things.
Honestly, I'm surprised that the blue wizrobes weren't a screen south, because that's normally where the troublesome enemies always sit. It's, the access to these levels, and Purity cannot get past the I think they were moblins on the overworld. Can't get past them, so just obeys and retries. Just a lot of exploration, nothing really other than that, so we'll just retry and go, but we will not see the Armos item for a little bit yet.
And Vanilla 2 is not letting him go out. The blue wizards stay regarding the exit.
Yeah, luckily they aren't too far in their start area for level 2, so it's not too much of a detriment to take a death there. Normally, I'm always wary of visiting level 2 when I'm starting anywhere but over in the forest, just because a death really hurts routing if you still have something to check.
So no wood sword yet, but we are finding a lot of levels. There's level 5.
Yeah, it takes a health refill, but I don't believe Garion... Oh, Garion is actually opening up the locked door. I can't imagine he's going to spend too much time searching in here, especially with the ladder block and Lionel's. But level 5 and a lot of larger levels, you don't want to do too much exploration in early on without a weapon. So we'll see if he finds anything really, really quick. If not, we'll just up and be out of here. Well, old man's telling him to do it right now.
Yeah, the old man, he says, get out of here. And, okay, level 6 is on Death Mountain somewhere. Not a priority.
Now, in these bracket stages, we do have the mix hints on, so while not all of them will be helpful, anything that does give information about the location of an item or level will be completely truthful. And hey, there's our white sword item. It is the bow.
So Purity's going to have to make a note of that and come back when he has anywhere from 4 to 6 heart is going to be what's required. Being on Vanilla 5, I'd probably wait until 6. I don't want to come back for 4 and then be denied, 5 be denied. And of course, there's a take any, gets a candle for that early exploration advantage.
Absolutely. Now, some runners with just coming across that bow, some runners may have chosen to take the heart there and quickly run up to the White Sword Cave to see if bow is obtainable at 4 hearts, and if not, just take the retry and go grab the candle afterwards. But we'll see. And look at that. You have to get past some Pole's voice to get to the sword at the White Sword Cave.
That took some effort there. I mean, the bunnies, they kind of get out of your way, but they are deadly when you have 3 hearts.
Absolutely. Purity immediately up A and going right back into level 3. So they'll do some exploration and probably check to see if this room is our item room because, well, it's early, it's a reverse C, so it might have a push block.
And does it push? It does. Item or transport? It is item. It's a power bracelet. Eh.
Not bad. You still have a lot of exploration, so having the power bracelet's not going to hurt here because the push blocks will actually you'll come across in your exploration. It's not like you have to return just for solely one spot. So actually not a bad find at all early on, especially if it's required. And we finally find our take any roads, and we have one up in the northeast and one along the coast so far.
And Zora just kind of beams Garion down. It's like, I see you in that doorway, and bam, shot. And Purity finds Triforce in 3, so that's a really quick 3.
Yeah, really super easy 3, very friendly. Garion heading down towards start now, so unfortunately is not heading in the direction of his sword. So he will continue to struggle a little bit with some of his exploration because, well, these enemies aren't too nice either.
And he hasn't made it to that area, so he doesn't even have a candle, so he can't burn bushes and do a little more extra exploration while he's down here.
Purity gonna do some forest burning here. Wouldn't surprise me if we saw another level just because of how everything's been so far. 33 rupees is our medium secret, so not the worst there. It's just a large secret that is kind of disgusting.
Well, at least we know meat's off the table, so that's a little money they can save. Blue ring, though, standard $250 price.
Yeah, the blue ring, you will actually see the $250 pretty much more than anything else as Purity comes across the ladder. And the reason is because the randomizer, when it gives prices to items and shops, it will give it a plus or minus 20 from its vanilla price. And if it cycles over or under the 1 or 255 threshold, it will revert back to its normal price. So if you know the blue ring gets a random number of +6, it will go up to 256, which will revert it back to 250. So you'll see it be 250 quite a bit in Randomizer.
And given their large secret, I don't know if they're really going to be purchasing those hints, at least not in that cave, because that is very expensive.
Yeah, about 150 rupees to get all 3 hints, and not even sure if they're going to be guaranteed to get it. And well, Purity finds level 2, so level 2 is a great level early on for exploration. Really quick, gets Y-forced by the rope. I'm sure we'll see Purity come back in and maybe use their key on that upper door to explore because level 2 is so small. And apparently not, I am wrong. Level 2 being so small is not hateful to go in and look for the item, which will be on the ground there.
The only thing is, if level 2 is really linear, it might just be really key or bomb heavy, and Purity just has 1 key and no bomb set right now.
Yeah. In terms of the smaller levels, 2 tends to be more bomb heavy than key heavy, and 1 tends to be the opposite of that. So, I mean, not having bombs, maybe the exploration is a little bit better not taking on 2 right now, but it's definitely a dungeon you'll want to revisit in a little bit. And there we have our third Take Any Road, which is in the forest. So far the Take Any Roads aren't the greatest. They're not horrible, but, I mean, you're just staying on the east side of Hyrule.
Yeah, that's not that great. I'm curious to see where the 4th one. If it goes up to Death Mountain, great. If it's another like Coast Raft or something, yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Yeah, Death Mountain would be most ideal because we do know a dungeon is up there already, so definitely would be helpful. And while we see the coast one, we know this next one is going to lead up into the northeast, and then we'll finally hopefully get our last one. We do have Garion over in the dead woods right now. Looks like he may be making his way up to the grave.
Yeah, but these Wizrobes and enemies, they wore him down.
Still no bombs for Purity, even though they are taking out all these enemies. And level 1 is our last warp. So that's somewhat decent, but not the best.
I mean, it's nice to get it out of the way, because it's kind of like one of those little one-off locations, but it's not useful as a warp.
No, definitely not, especially where their start screen is. It's just, 3 screens east of there, and wow, look at those bomb prices.
That is the maximum bomb price. Purity cannot be happy. A large secret will get you 1 pack.
Yeah, luckily does get a bomb drop there, so able to bomb this next screen while exploring, and, well, a candle, which they already have.
I mean, the candle price is great, but it already has one.
And we have Garion and Purity both heading over into the same area, both doing their screen scrolls to get past the Forgotten Spot. Now, Purity is going to bomb here to see what is located behind this wall, whereas Garion is going to check the Armos for the Armos item.
Oh, just a little piece of love right there. Just, hey, have a heart.
Yeah, both runners are not really healthy in this area either, so this is kind of a little scary having to get these Armos items, because if you accidentally bump into the Armos, you'll die right before you get to it, so...
Oh, and those moblins are not playing nice on that screen. Garion takes a death there, and Purity had died there earlier just trying to get down from 6.
Purity grabs the heart. Looks like they're going to go down and wrap around this transition to go to the Blue Ring Armos. And Garion not being treated well by those enemies either, and looks like he's heading up into Death Mountain. He's going to go check out the potion shop to the west of where Vanilla 9 is and see if the sword's up here, while Purity does find level 7.
Yeah, Garion's just avoiding that one little area that happens to have not only the sword, but the bow and a take any that would give him a candle.
Purity taking a hug from the mummies. So we'll see if they continue to search in 7, or yes, they will continue. Will not abandon quite yet. And is Garion finally heading up towards level 5? Looks that way.
This will be good, and he does have an outside chance of picking up the bow. 4 hearts is the minimum that it could roll to. We'll see if he's able to get it.
And we do have our first map of tonight. Well, as we said, we are playing with shapes, so name that ink blot, everyone.
It's Aquamenace. He's turning and looking to the right.
Well, he does normally belong in level 7, so 4 is not enough for the bow. So, Garion at least happy that he found where the bow is located. The bow is one of those important items, and one of the 2 items that are always required to beat one of these seeds, as he takes a bunch of Wizro beams to the face. Like, there wasn't even one, there was multiple there.
Yeah.
But we'll see if he heads back towards the waterfall and White Sword Cave to get his sword.
He does appear to be heading that way, and that'll be good for him. But the Pulse voice screen, that's going to be really dicey.
Good job there by Purity of killing that room. Garion does pick up his candle, and we might have the potential item room here, single block room in level 7.
Yeah, level 7 does have a transport stair though, so it could be that, or it could just be nothing. Best case for Purity though would be the item.
And finally, Garion gets his sword, so he will be able to start his combat as well. Nice clock there for Purity, so we will see if this is an item, a transport, or just, you know, a troll block.
Well, it pushes, that's always a good sign, and it's a white sword. Well, double the combat power, that's nice. Tap early.
Yeah, and the thing is that Purity can't be disappointed because of, you know, not having, or, you know, pulling the sword and then finding that immediately, because, well, that's combat heavy room, and the only way they would have been able to get that is if they would have been able to get bow and find arrows and everything else, which is not a guarantee. So definitely nice there to find, especially having white sword for most of the seed. That's what you want.
Yeah, this white sword will serve Purity well. I don't know how the HP is going to roll on all the enemies. We really haven't seen Dark Nuts much, but still, having twice the combat power, very nice.
It's especially if they find the wand. All the enemies in these dungeons are susceptible to both the sword and the wand. So having both, and wow, quick level 7 too. But having both is actually going to be really nice because you can swing them both on the same frame and do double the damage to all the enemies. So dungeon combat's going to be a lot easier.
And Garion made an immediate play into level 3 just like Purity, has the power bracelet, and will soon be finding the Triforce, because it wasn't deep in either.
Now, if he heads left and down, he'll be out of 3 super quick and able to save a few keys as well, but looks like he's going to go up instead of letting the meat block dictate him to go down.
Oh, and he's going to use a key too and keep going on this one path that does not lead to a Triforce. Maybe the compass will send him back down.
The map is nice. He will see that, you know, there's that one room that he'll be sitting on. But we'll see if he continues to try to go up here into the upper part. Purity is heading down towards Vanilla, or towards the southeast, so won't find much down there.
Well, you never know. This one spot hasn't been bombed, and the levels can be anywhere.
Absolutely.
But
now, Garion does get a heart out of level 3. This is at least one benefit to him exploring, as he is now up to 5 hearts, has overall 66% chance, but for him a 50-50% chance of getting the bow now, which bow's nice.
Bow was very nice, and Garion remembers that, hey, I can approach that room from below, either via bomb or something, so does not use his key there.
Yeah, keys are a very good resource. Most times you won't find the any key until you don't need it, so saving up as much as possible is nice, and he is hoping he does not have to clear that room out.
Yeah, he's gonna go back to the beginning of this dungeon and explore there, and that'll be a good move on his part.
We'll see if he chooses to go left. It seems like he's going to go right first, so may potentially find the compass here, which this room's not even that nice.
No, that room is very annoying. Just get out of there and hope you don't have to clear it.
Yeah, level 8 on Purity side. Level 8's a nice level to find because, well, there's 2 items in here, and we still have some items that we need, especially ladder and silver arrows, so searching in here won't be too bad, as well as you might be able to get a few hints towards where level 1 is.
The thing with the larger levels is that possibility of getting hints. Because there's going to be 3 old men, one might have the next level in the chain's location, and the other 2 might have hints. Now, there's the bait block, which we know is already in 3, there's bomb upgrades, or it could just be a lot of trolleys things, because we're dealing with mixed hints here.
Yeah, there's also the potential for the leave your money or life, or whatever it is, might be keys, might be bombs, but those can also take the place of hint keys, which is always annoying, especially when it's like bombs or keys and you don't have the end key.
Yeah, my preference is money, if anything. Just, give them $40 and they let you move on. That's always nice. Or keys when you have the any key. Otherwise, the key option is never good.
Another medium secret on Garion's side as he starts through the forest now. Purity has already burned through here, and we haven't found much other than the letter. But he may eventually get over to level 2 and get an easy Triforce out of there as well.
So we haven't seen it, but the magical sword is close to start. Which we haven't seen, I think, either the bone bushes or the bomb caves. But there's also a possibility of the power bracelet, which they do both have, so that won't even stop them. But 10 to 14 hearts to be able to pick that up.
Yeah, right now they're not even too concerned about it. It looks like, just guessing from how they're routing and everything, neither runner's actually going to return for the bow until 6 hearts either. So, Garion finding returning to level 5, we'll see how much of this he explores. Now, remember, he is ladder blocked to the north here. So we'll see if he chooses to go a different direction after clearing out all these very, very squishy Lionels.
Yeah, they rolled -2, and that's always really nice, because Lionels hurt.
Absolutely, especially when you come across them with the white sword like Purity is. And we do have a staircase. Is it a transport or an item? It is just a transport staircase.
And Garion takes death to the Lionels. They are making their appearance known in all these levels. They seem to be everywhere.
Now, if you notice on Purity's side, these Tektites actually rolled +2. And Tektites, because they're, 1 HP enemies normally, they don't have a knockback animation. So they actually teleport when you hit them. And, yeah, that can actually be quite aggravating, trying to fight them when they're just going through like that. So, yeah, not a fun enemy to face when they have more than 1 HP.
Now, Garion's in level 2, and he's going to go ahead and pop that key door and see what's inside here.
Yeah, definitely not a bad call, especially when he has 3 keys. Level 2, as I said, is very easy to explore, and you have an item on the ground potentially, so you should be able to make pretty quick work, and if that item is anything great, you know, it's definitely worth the time. And Manhandla threatens near the desert, which we already know because it's one south of where we start.
This room really wants to kill Gary in here. Yeah, it got him. That was just a really rough setup, and with the boomerangs flying at him, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is that room is potentially a drop room, so he does want to clear it out. If he can actually potentially get a few hearts off of some of these robes. I would do that before entering this room, just so he can try to get through it, because you have Gyptos that do 2 HP damage, and then Gorillas, the blue Gorillas, do 1 HP damage with both their boomerang and their body. So definitely something that you don't want to run into with minimal HP if possible. So he grabs the Triforce. We'll see if he digs one more time or if he just chooses to come back later.
He was grabbing it for the health, it looks like, which, not a bad idea.
Absolutely not. So he is going to dig one more time. See if he pauses before going up, so he does have a better... Yes, there we go. Manipulate those traps to proceed before you proceed. And looks like blue Gorillas are actually a little bulked up as well, taking 6 hits with the wood sword to die.
Impurity, on the other hand, is trapped in a room with good old Lanmola. At least they're slower.
Yeah, at least it's the red ones that you can outrun and not the blue ones that just, you know, torture you.
Not much luck in this level 8. Has done a decent amount of it. No map, no items. No compass, no Triforce.
Now that single block does not push there. It is possible that 2 could be segmented. That's why he was testing it out, but not much in the way of this level 2 so far, so he may have to find some sort of bomb hole to find the item.
Yeah, he's gonna be forced to leave here, I think. I don't think there's any possibility of him getting bombs here, so... The item in 2 remains unfound.
Purity is taking that transport staircase that we saw earlier, and it takes them all the way up to the far northeast, so yeah, quite a big level 8 it seems. We'll see if it's segmented or not. Typically, you can't ever tell with level 7 and 8. And oh shoot.
Well, maybe you can bomb out of here.
Yeah, you'll be able to bomb some way, or at least access those rooms some way, because every room is accessible, so maybe bombing right here and going down and around, you'll be able to get back through, but Purity is just saying, nope, I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah, he was in the far right column, so there was no bombing right for him. So there's got to be some other path here, which might just be a bomb wall or another transport stair.
And Garion finds the compass in 4, so we'll at least know where to go to get the Triforce, but is continuing to search to find the item, and unfortunately takes death to the blue Lionel there.
Yeah, Purity having a much better time versus Lionel's with that white sword. Just having that double combat power, really helpful.
We find a hint for one of the levels, but not the one that we wanted. That just tells us where level 9 is, which we already know, but not level 1.
Yeah, level 1 is a level you kind of want to find, because it's small, it has 2 items, and that Manhandla is not going to die to a bomb.
Yeah, you never want to deal with manhandlers like that, that you drop a bomb and they just laugh, going right through all the smoke.
Yeah, it's either going to be +1 or +2, and yeah, you don't want to try to sort it down. Maybe if you have a bow and arrows, you can shoot all the heads, but close combat with Manhandla is never going to work out well for you when you have Green Tunic.
Garion is leaving level 4, chooses not to do any more exploration, and takes a death to the blue Wizrobes right outside as well.
They'll let you in, but they're not letting you leave.
Purity is going to spend their last key here to try to go right, and, well, that may not have worked out. We'll see if they can bomb out of here.
You gotta be able to get to that shoot room in the northeast somehow, and this is kind of the furthest northeast Purity's been able to go. Does not try to bomb, though.
See if they try to bomb out of the old man's room. They can go left, and will opt to go left instead of trying to bomb right as well. And comes across a possible item room, so this may give us something.
Yeah, we've been really not finding any items, and it's a transport stair, so this 8 segmented, it looks like.
And hey, look at that, we found level 1.
Now, this is a level I don't see Garion leaving unless forced to.
No, and the best thing for Garion is because 1 is so easy to navigate through, I would expect him to also search the heart out for here, so he can just go over and grab the bow out of Vanilla 5 right afterwards. However, this room does not want to treat him.
Oh no, not at all. That room is being mean.
Purity taking another death in level 8, while Garion does the same in level 1. Garion's going to have to find a bomb hole somewhere for level 1 to progress forward.
The real unfortunate thing with Garion's death there is, doesn't know if that bomb to the left would have worked or not.
Does have to re-bomb there, so it did cost him a bomb. Or actually 2, because he bombed right the first time, and, well, we might be ladder blocked here in 1.
Oh man, ladder blocked out of 1, that's 2 items. You're always sad when that happens. See if he can bomb left here.
He cannot, so yeah, looks like we need the ladder to get into 1.
So it looks like ladder's required, and barring some sort of bomb hole to the right at start that's a transport, but yeah. Garion might try the bow with 5 just because you're right here, so why not?
Does get a nice bomb drop there, but will not help him at all for right now. Level 7 would be really beneficial so he can get that white sword. 7 was really quick, so we'll see how long it takes him to head back over towards the blue ring Armos.
And nowhere close right now. Purity deep inside 8. Is this an item finally? Yes, a recorder. Required? No idea.
Yeah, the recorder's good anyway because it does give Purity a much quicker way to get around the overworld, especially having 7 and 8 where they are as compared to like 2, 3, and stuff like that in the Force. It's really nice to have that option.
We do know there's no level under Recorder Lake because while we haven't marked down level 6, we know via a hint it's on Death Mountain somewhere. So we know approximately where all the levels are. Garion going up the mountain. He's gotta have to watch out for these Wizrobes. And Purity is guaranteed a bow whenever Purity makes their way back over to Vanilla 5. 5 hearts was enough for Garion. No arrows, though, so... And I don't know that we've even seen the arrow shop. And the second item in 8 for Purity, Red Candle. And that is an interesting shape for level 8, too. Looks like there might be a lot of bomb holes or secret paths over there to the right. Which I think Purity agrees and is going to go via this transport stair over to that right section and kind of poke around over there a little more. No keys, and that's not good.
Alright, so Purity does get a fairy there and is able to at least know what they have to do for exploration over here, and well, that's killing this very, very steroid-driven Manhandla.
It looks like this Manhandla is blocking the Triforce, because I think Purity has checked the entire western part of level 8.
Not only the Triforce, but potentially another item, unless I missed that while I was dealing with an issue.
Yeah, level 8, Recorder and Red Candle for Purity.
Oh, Red Candle's nice.
Oh, man.
Oh, another ladder block.
I think Purity's going to have to come back here later with the ladder.
Yeah, now we still have yet to see level 6, but we found every other level. We don't know the item in 4 or 5, and we still have not seen the item in 2 because both runners have left before finding it. So there are a few dungeons that do have the potential to have ladder in, but we don't know which one.
At this point, I'm guessing level 6 on Death Mountain has a ladder, because that's probably the trolliest thing right now.
Yeah, Purity is returning to level 2 with the White Sword will be a little bit easier, but does have to spend their last key to get through here. We'll see if they can find this bomb hole. Only having 2 bombs, it might be a little difficult.
Yeah, Purity's gonna have to bomb the exact right wall here. Once Purity discovers, oh hey, all these open rooms don't lead anywhere. Garion doing more overworld exploration, using that power bracelet, just potion shop. It is right next to the start screen, so if they do have money, maybe you buy a potion.
Yeah, both picking up the ladder earlier, so that's actually really nice. Purity getting the compass, but doesn't need it because they already got the Triforce.
And Purity's gonna kill all these Woe Masters just to find out that that single block, it doesn't move.
Bombs up and nothing doing. So, see what their decision is. And it looks like an up A to leave, and Garion taking a death to the blue wizards there at the power bracelet near, power bracelet spot near start. Now remember, that could potentially be the magic sword there. Purity looks like they are immediately heading up to get their bow.
Plus, Purity got the hint that level 1 is in the Lost Hills, so... Only got the 1 bomb, though, but hey, Note Orange Wizards have the potential of dropping bombs.
Yeah, we'll be very disappointed to come across this level 7, though. And another heart for Garion, so up to 6. A little healthier, but not really what he needs right now. He needs to find some of these levels.
Oh, I think if Garion clips here, that's gonna put him right in a wall. Yeah, he recorrects, so that's good.
Yeah, depending on how far up into the wall he was, he may have been able to go down and then still make the full clip, but yeah, that's a little scary to do. And it looks like he is checking out the coast here and then may head back over towards start afterwards.
Does get another heart container, which never gonna be sad about that when you have Green Tunic.
No, especially with some of these levels they have to clear out. Definitely a little bit nicer to have more health so you're not returning to the start of the level as much. Purity does find the first bomb hole. We'll clear out this room for just a key and then realize I'm ladder blocked.
Well, Purity's gonna need bombs to discover that because there are no doors. And hey, bombs. That's convenient.
Yeah, you say something and it happens.
Not gonna be happy with the results, though. But better that you know now.
Garion finding another blue ring shop. Not the shop that he would like to come across. Or he actually did already purchase arrows. I missed when he did that, but hey, you know, the extra combat's always nice too.
Yeah, I mean, Pulse Voice are on the overworld, so it's not that huge. I don't think we've seen a single Goma, but being able to clear them out on the overworld itself is nice.
Yeah, we haven't seen many Dark Nuts either, which means every other enemy in the dungeons is susceptible to bow. So, I mean, that is another benefit that they can take out most enemies in these dungeons with the bow and are able to get around it. And what we see, the magic sword is north of vanilla start, but of course, you know, at 7 hearts, that's not nearly enough to pick it up quite yet.
Well, if Garion keeps exploring and makes his way northwest of Vanilla 4, we'll find level 7. And the White Sword's not too hard to find in there.
Still has a little bit of exploration to do before he gets there, killing some blue moblins on his way, hoping to get another bomb drop. And there we have our arrow purchase.
Yeah.
Now, Garion getting that clock knows that this last blue Octorok has a potential bomb drop, but does not get it. So, unfortunately, still just at 3 bombs, but is heading up towards level 7, so White Sword should be in his possession fairly soon if he finds the right path.
And is able to dodge the potential of a Wed Robe just being like, hey, have a beam to the face.
Purity finding some more money along Burn Row here and is quite healthy in the money, so just a little bit more may potentially be able to pick up a blue ring or bomb upgrade if they come across one of those. Definitely nice to have the money here.
When you're dealing with shapes, a bomb upgrade can be a really big thing. Just because playing Find the Bomb Hole tends to be really bomb extensive, really just demanding of your bombs.
Yeah, nice clear out of that room from Garion, able to pin the enemies. We'll see if he bombs down here, which it looks like he's going to, which is very, very good for him because, well, we know what is in this room. And they're having a lot easier time with his Gyarados, being able to arrow them. Very smart too, being at 1 heart. You don't want to take a hit here and die to them right before the item. So very good job clearing them out.
Is draining his money supply quite rapidly, but gets it through and will be rewarded with a White Sword.
So we are still looking for 2 very important items, the ladder and the silver arrows. Now we know that Raft is not going to be required at all for the seed. I mean, it may hold some money or something, but nothing important at all. Purity is heading back towards the coast area. I'm not sure, did we ever get to see what was on the coast here?
I think this screen has kind of stopped him from ever making it over to the coast.
Yeah, not a very nice screen at all. And well, there's the reason why is because Wizrobes know how to screen scroll.
Yeah, they are very adept screen scrollers, and that is not good news for you.
Garion also making very quick work of 7, and well, Purity has a little bit more exploration. Garion has caught up and is tied in Triforces.
Yeah, the advantage Purity has right now is all of that 8 exploration, getting the recorder and red candle, and knows where the Triforce is, just gonna have to dig back in to get it. Does manage to navigate that one screen, so that was good for Purity.
And we have Red Ring on the coast, so ladder even more important now.
You have to think as soon as the ladder is found, Purity's gonna make their way over to that red ring, because quadruple the defense, very, very huge.
Absolutely, definitely something you want, especially when it's easy to find like that. Ladder is required anyway, so it's not going to hurt, you know, digging the item out. It's just a matter of getting to it. Purity, getting to 9. I believe found it earlier, probably just forgot that that was the screen that 9 was on and mistaken it for the screen 5 was on, but now is heading back into level 5.
Yeah, likely that's the case. So, we're tied in Triforce pieces. Man, this is really anyone's race at the moment.
Absolutely. I think it's safe to say right now, Silver Arrows are still hugely in play on this seed, but I really think it's the first person to find this ladder is going to have the massive advantage going forward. So both have a hint to where 6 is. I think Purity has found all the levels at this point other than 6. Garion still has 8 to find, but we'll find that shortly heading up towards the grave.
Yeah. And depending on where that ladder is, maybe it's in 5, maybe 6. There's not too many options because of the ladder block in 1.
Yeah, there's a ladder block in 1, a potential ladder block here in 5. Now, we still don't know the item in 4 or 2. Surprised neither runner has made their way back to 2 with the white sword. I mean, I know Purity is not in position 2 right now because of bombs, but I would be trying to farm for bombs and make my way back into 2 at some point too, especially knowing, well, I need ladder yet.
And 2 isn't overly far from their starting screen, so if you have a lot of bombs, you could save, go there, bomb a lot of walls, and if you just guess wrong, you could always retry.
Absolutely. Purity instead heading to level 4. We'll reset that room to find, to open up the locked door, and we'll see how much they explore here. Garion checking out this PB spot before heading into level 8.
You know, it's possible Purity didn't know where level 4 was, just because I know Garion's been there a lot, but I'm not sure that Purity ever made their way over to Vanilla 2.
Yeah, I forget what Purity checked before they did their retry, so that is very possible. I know they went a lot more towards the grave and started and everything, so it is possible they didn't know where 4 is, but, well, they do now. So both runners just missing level 6 at this point.
And level 8 was quite the time sink for Purity. We'll see how Garion handles it. We do know, unfortunately, Garion's going to be blocked from the Triforce, though. So, can find both items, but not going to be able to get the Triforce.
Yeah, Garion is in a little bit better shape in 8 because he has a few more hearts, and he also has bow and arrow, which will help make some of these enemies easier. But, I mean, either way, still not, a situation you want to be in because it is going to be a huge time sink. You want to come in here with a little more knowledge than he has of how much you need to search out. And, well, yeah, gets in the shoot room on the wrong side with the bad manhandler.
Oh, very well done. And that has the compass. That's huge for Garion.
Yeah, that was a really nice job clearing that room out, actually. And some bombs for Purity. So we'll go ahead and continue on to try to find a possible way through this level. Quite possible that this is just a straightforward level without being segmented, but no luck on the bombs there. And Garion, no luck with the Lammola.
Yeah, this seat's been a little bit rough for both of our runners. Just with the bomb holes. And maybe this is something for Purity here. Bomb to wall and the blue boomerang.
Neither runner is happy to see that. So they'll just continue on without it. At this point in the randomizer seed, you don't even want to bother wasting time to go pick it up. You have what you need for combat and everything, so no big deal.
Yeah, no, not at all. It's just an extra B button item you'd have to scroll through, so not going to be picked up unless Garion really likes boomerang combat. Purity, no.
Now, if TG was on the call, it may be different, but, well, he's not, so. And, well, level 4 looks like a kangaroo.
I'd agree with that.
Unless Purity's looking for bombs or something like that, I'm not really sure why they were clearing out that room. The Triforce is one room north. They already found the item. So maybe the key or bombs or a heart container, but that would be the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, I'm not sure. When you have 7 keys, you're kind of sitting okay. I mean, you wouldn't turn my nose up at a key on the ground, but I don't know that I'd go out of my way looking for them. Bombs, yeah, that's kind of an issue. Oh, and Garion gets sniped by the Lionel.
Purity doing an up A, and see where they head. No bombs is very troublesome because, well, 2 is a good option if you have bombs. Death Mountain's a good option if you have bombs, but they don't have bombs, so we'll see what they decide. And they're going to make that gut-wrenching purchase of 8 bombs for 80 rupees.
That is rough. But, you know, you do what you gotta do. You have 200 rupees. What else you spending that money on? I mean, there are the hints near Vanilla's start. That would take like 150 rupees.
Yeah, it looks like they're immediately heading towards 2. So we'll see if this is the decision that needed to be made. A lot of potential bomb walls here. So, hoping to see something.
And Garion has found the troll staircase where you can't actually go anywhere. And Purity bombing that wall again. Bombs this wall, no. Bomb to the right, no.
So that tells Purity that you either have to head left or right in level 2 because the room to the southeast here will also not be able to bomb up because, well, 2 you can access every room from every direction. So yeah, that is big news, and I think it's an old man anyway, so you wouldn't be able to bomb up regardless.
Well, if Purity could have bombed up, it could have always been Zelda's room, which does nothing for you.
Yeah, that too. Zelda's room is the worst.
But I'm thinking one of these left side walls bombs, and it's some sort of weird leftward extension of 2.
There it is.
Like so.
And of course you get all the bomb dropping enemies behind the bomb door.
And they're even nice enough to give some bombs. How kind of you, game.
So we will potentially come across our item now in 2. We'll see if it's the ladder or if it's just something horrible.
I'm calling Raft in 2.
And oh wow. 2 bomb options to the left, and that 2 is ugly.
That 2 is a little bit special. So that one gives you the map that tells you the other one that you should have bombed in the first place.
So we have 6 more rooms to check for a potential item, and it's probably going to be the last one we check because, well, that's how it always works.
And hopefully there's no ladder block over here, because very linear path here.
So far, so good. Only 5 rupees here with a bunch of dodongos. So, even more ways to fill up your bombs after the bomb walls that you have trouble finding.
Oh, down to half heart. It's getting a bit dicey.
Using their arrows as well, trying to fight these Gibos without. Garion is still over in level 8 trying to find his way through, and potential for the item to be in this room, since it is just a dark room. And it is the ladder!
Ladder in 2. Very nice for Purity. Garion's gonna have to come back here at some point and play Find the Bomb Wall.
So that is huge for Purity. Actually shocked that they did not make a beeline for the red ring here. But instead, well, they're heading back to level 9 again. Realize it, now we're going to go to level 5. No, they're making a beeline for the red ring now. Definitely the right
Just has to get past this screen. You have to earn your red ring if you want it.
Absolutely. I'd actually consider just taking the other path, going by the raft spot and down the coast. But really nice,
oh, very
quick
nice.
Screen scroll there.
And Purity is rewarded with quadruple the defense. This is a huge advantage for Purity right now. Ladder and red ring.
Absolutely. Looks like they are going to go somewhere. I'm not sure where they're whistling to, but 1 and 5 are both good plays. I would actually prefer 1 first, but they're heading somewhere else.
Likely recorded to the wrong location.
They are heading back to level 5.
Does look that way, and then from 5, probably going to go up to 1 and wrap that up.
Absolutely, and the only... I would probably actually have left 5 because it is just 1 screen south of level 9. So I probably would have left it until last, so I could have just immediately left there with a full complement of hearts to head into level 9. But still not a horrible choice here either.
And having no bombs in level 8, I think Garion's forced to leave.
And wow, look how simple that Triforce was to get to now. Purity is going to clear out this room because they still have to find the silver arrows. And, well, grabs the Triforce first, so maybe they won't opt to dig 5.
We still have both items in 1 in play. But I think, yeah, Purity's going to go back in. Full life. Just going to finish off level 5 here. And Garion's on Death Mountain with no bombs. Never a position you want to find yourself in.
Now he's gonna take the time to go to this one open cave, which the only thing that would benefit him is if it was level 6. Otherwise, it is all for nothing.
Well, it could be a bomb shop. That would help. But,
Or,
you know, another heart.
That's not bad either. He does pick up a potion here instead of a heart. Not horrible, but with a little bit of exploration still left to go. Heart wouldn't have been a bad choice there to maybe get the magic sword. Especially already having the ladder and the knowledge of a really accessible potion shop.
We haven't seen potion prices, but sitting on 97, that's a good amount of money. You'd be able to buy some potions. Might end up buying bombs, though, with that money. You never know.
Yeah, purchase of bombs would actually be really helpful at this point. We do have a staircase here in 5. It is not the item, it is just a transport.
Is the transport required to get to the item? Well, doesn't look that way, but we might be dealing with more bomb holes.
Yeah, there is that one room up at the very top that you can go left or right, so looks like Purdy is going to head back up that way. And we are about an hour, well, a little over an hour in, so while we don't know the location of all the items, I can give a rundown of what we do know. Level 1, we haven't seen anything other than 3 rooms. Level 2 has the ladder, Level 3 has the power bracelet, Level 4 with the magic boomerang. Level 5 and Level 6, we do not know the items. Level 7 has the white sword, Level 8 with the recorder and the red candle, Level 9 we do not know. Red ring is on the coast, the armbost had a heart container, and the white sword item was the bow. Garion heading back into 2, but he doesn't have bombs.
Yeah, so Garion's gonna have to leave here, because I don't recall seeing really much in the way of bomb droppers here either.
No, I don't believe we had any bomb droppers at all in level 2 before you actually bomb over where you needed to go.
Yeah, so this level 2, bit of a troll in that way. Oh, you want bombs? Well, you gotta bomb through this wall. There are the Gibdos, but yeah, rough room.
Purity still doing a nice long surge now. Well, not as big as 5. I mean, not as big as 6. 5 is not small by any means, so it might take a little bit of time to find the item in here. But nice ladder clip there to continue on. We'll see if Purity can find something soon. Compass does not help.
At this point, likely looking for a map just to say, okay, where are the other rooms in this level?
Using the little trick there to take out one Lamola, leave the room, reset it, so the other one disappears. And Garion heading back into 4 now.
And this might be our item in level 5. Garion, on the other hand, is going to need bombs to get through a bomb wall in level 4, because that leads to both the magic boomerang and the path to the Triforce. Wand in 5.
As stated earlier, that does help Purity out because now they can use the single frame tap to swing both the wand and the sword at the same time to do 4 damage to almost any enemy in these dungeons.
Alright, Garion gets some bombs. That is very good for Garion. Unfortunately, he's a little too far right in the dungeon. I think he needs to go south, left, and then bomb up, because there's that sideways stair there that has the item.
Absolutely. Purity finally adding back into 1. We'll see what 1 can give us. Early Triforce.
Yeah, there's Triforce. The game wants you to just, take that and leave.
Purity does not need to kill this room. There will not be a push block here because there is an item.
And Garion does pick up the magical boomerang. I have seen Garion use the boomerangs in the past, so it doesn't really surprise me.
No, Lionel's in the dungeon. It actually can be beneficial because you can at least freeze them and prevent them from smacking you with their sword beams, which are still deadly. Remember, he doesn't have the red ring yet, and I don't believe he even knows it's on the coast, so any ability to stun Lionels and other enemies in these dungeons is helpful. Another item drop, so another room that cannot be a push block.
And there's our first item and 1 on the ground, the wooden boomerang.
Garion does pick up the Triforce out of 4, so he is on out of here. Has 3 bombs, so we'll see if he returns to level 2 to hopefully get his ladder. Purity comes across a reverse C, so we might have our other item here. We will see in just a second. It is a push block, and it is an item, and it is the silver arrows.
Wow, that is a nice dig by Purity there.
And with that, that actually tells us where all of our items are, because that will put the raft in level 6, and level 9 will have the book and the any key.
So Purity just needs to discover where level 6 is, and off to 9. Has everything required.
Has the hint that it is up in Death Mountain, which is also conveniently over by level 8. So, does enough A, and will immediately beeline for over in that area.
Oh, and Garion's checking walls in level 1, it looks like. It's not gonna pay off. There is no path here.
We'll see if Puri chooses to go to level 8 first, or if they're going to go up and check Death Mountain. It looks like Death Mountain is the call that they are making. They are going to check Eastern Death Mountain first, up by level 9 and Spectacle Rock. We'll see which side has level 6.
I kind of like this play, just because when you're going through level 8, you already kind of have most of the path explored, and you might recover your bombs at that point.
Now, Purity did have a lot of money, so it wasn't a big deal, but man, those are really cheap blue potion prices. Could have bought 2 for just 54 rupees. Would have actually saved 13 rupees over the red, but you know, right now with the rupees you have, you're saving money over, you're saving time over money.
Yeah, you're buying that red potion is a way of saying, you know, the time it takes to buy 2 blues is not worth it.
Absolutely, and still coming across a ton of money, so still has enough for a bomb upgrade if they happen to come across it in 6. We haven't seen either of them yet, so definitely nice to have the money and hoping that you come across that bomb upgrade.
And Garion needs bombs, finds bombs. Thank you, Blue Moblins. It's all going to come down to when Garion decides to go back into level 2. Might be going back into 1 to bomb a couple more walls, but it's not going to pan out.
Absolutely, and the worst part about it is that he's Purity picking up the magic shield. Nice little boost in defense there. But yeah, with Garion using all of his bombs here, he won't have as many bombs for level 2 either, so really has to manage his bombs correctly once he gets there, and we'll see how long it takes him to get back down there.
And West Death Mountain, do you hold level 6 in your last possible spot? No. East Death Mountain is where it is.
Purity does take the up A and chooses to take this path back to East Death Mountain. Purchases 40 bombs to make Brookie sick again because, well, they have the money, so why not?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, what else are you going to spend money on? Unless you come across a bomb upgrade in 6. That's basically it.
And Garion looks like he's making the play to go back to level 8. Or even potentially a search for level 6.
Yeah, that's possible.
Fortunately, we'll not find the item he needs here, and well, Purity does find level 6 at Spectacle Rock. So we'll see how long it takes them to find the Triforce. They are in Triforce and Go mode, and well, look at this. There's the
That is not a kind old man there.
yeah, and it is the two possible worst options there, bomb or keys, and any key is not anywhere close.
No, any key could be really deep in 9, and you don't want to give up bombs either. Rupees or heart would have been much better preferences there.
Absolutely. So they are opting to exit and enter again to see if they can open up the north path there, but they cannot. So they're going to bomb to try to find any way possible around this penalty room.
Oh, I would do the same, but it looks like it is forced.
So do you leave 4 keys, giving yourself 1, or do you leave 1 bomb?
The bomb. I mean, 4 keys when you have 5, that is bad.
Yeah, I would probably select the bomb as well and just be very, very conscious about where I am on my counts. Virus dying to 1 swing of the white sword is actually also very nice because they are bomb droppers, and the fact that you can take them out is super convenient.
Yeah, very nice. I mean, you have silver arrows, so you could potentially kill him that way, but just having the white sword kill him, very nice. And Garion is on Death Mountain and out of bombs. That's kind of been the story of Garion's Seed a little bit. Serious bomb issues.
Purity just going through, trying to take out all these enemies and find the Triforce as quickly as possible. Compass would also be beneficial. Get some keys, but they aren't as important right now as this Triforce.
Yeah, when you're an hour 12 in, you start to worry a little bit about where your opponent might be. Like, maybe they got the ladder first out of 2 and haven't had to backtrack as much. You never really know.
Yeah, that would be my main concern if I'm Purity right now is, you know, how quickly did Garion find the ladder in 2, because 2's really quickly accessible from where you start, and if you find that correct bomb hole, you have ladder early. This seed is completely different.
Well, if you're Garion at this point, you have to feel behind, because you're missing a ladder, you don't really know where it is.
Yeah, missing the ladder, missing the silver arrows, can't access 2 dungeons, so yeah, you're definitely feeling in trouble, and especially if he finds level 6, digs out the item, and discovers it's only the raft. It's gonna be super concerning, and he's gonna probably be checking IRC for a done quicker than anything else at that point.
Now, this level 6 has been kind to Purity with keys. Had 5 earlier, up to 9 right now.
Yeah, bomb drops too. Although it seems pretty linear at this point. We all know how big level 6 can be, but it doesn't matter because there's the Triforce. Purity will be on out of here and going back to level 8.
And shouldn't have to spend too much time in 8. It was already in there a whole lot, cleared a whole bunch of it, likely knows where the Triforce is in that far right section. Never killed the room with the compass, though, because of that tank handler in that horizontal shoot room.
Yeah, Garion is up in the Spectacle Rock area, so he will come across 6. Unfortunately, we'll spend the time to dig the item out of here, and will not be pleased.
And after 6, Garion might just head to 8. Still has not dug out 8 because of running out of bombs at one point. Hasn't found either item in 8.
Garion spends the bomb there instead of the keys. Given his bomb issues, that is really a tough decision to make.
Yeah, had 8 keys, still might be worried. Has a lot of levels still to do. Oh man, now Purity has to remember where to go in this level 8.
Yeah, and that's never easy. level 8 is humongous, and trying to remember where to get to that staircase that leads over to the right side is really rough.
We have no idea where the raft is in 6, so Garion could be in here for a while if it's really deep inside.
Yeah, 6 tends to be the second biggest dungeon behind level 8. Sometimes level 7 is bigger, but yeah, just the immense size of level 6. This is a horrible dungeon to have to sink a lot of time into to get item out of.
And unfortunately for Garion, still on that green tunic because no ladder.
Purity finding the correct staircase, and it's going to take out a Lionel and head into that lower section of the east side of 8.
The Chevy room stopped Purity before. We'll see if one of these 4 rooms does have the Triforce, or if a room got skipped somewhere over on the west side.
That'd be really unfortunate to have to. And oh my goodness, the ladder block here in 8 is, or the second ladder block here in 8 as well. No Triforce there. Are we gonna? Well, definitely close to a full clear of 8.
Oh, Goma, how's it going, Goma? Haven't seen you much this seed.
No, I believe this is our first one, and wow, Goma running the Triforce as well.
That's, you know, if you're gonna have one blue Goma in the seed, just give it a Triforce. Why not?
Absolutely. But now it is time for Purity to whistle to level 5 and head to level 9. So Thayer, what are we looking for in level 9?
So Purity's going to be looking for a couple of things. One is going to be a shutter door that does not open when all the enemies are cleared, or if it's just kind of an empty room, a shutter door that just refuses to open, because that's where Zelda is going to be. And the other thing is going to be listening for Ganon's roar. Ganon can be heard one room away from wherever Ganon happens to be located, so if early Zelda is found, then you can see kind of a search pattern where you're just kind of listening and trying to clear as much of 9 as possible. There are a couple other things involved. There are 3 old men in level 9. Now, we know the bait block's not in here. We know at least one of the thieving old men isn't. There is a possibility for those old men to be replaced by the other thieves. Or, if the game decides to be helpful, there could be a hint telling you what quadrant of level 9 Zelda, Ganon, what enemy guards the compass, or the silver arrows aren't in 9, which Purity already knows. Or it could just be a community message because we're playing with mixed hints that just laughs at you. And there are Patra in 9, of course.
Yeah, when you come across a Patra, the one thing you don't want to do is just stand there and take hits. But Purity will clear out this Patra, hoping that it does drop the compass. It does not, just drops a key, and keys are not an issue for Purity at all. Now, typically, if I have silver arrows when I come into 9, I like to take as much of a linear path as possible, heading through every possible door before I take any staircases. How about you?
It really depends on 9. If there's a lot of open doors, then sure. I mean, take what the game gives you before you start bombing too much. Keys, not an issue. It kind of depends on my mood as far as taking staircases, though, when I have silvers.
Another shoot room over in 9 for Garion, which is unfortunate. Luckily, he does have the arrows to take out those Vires. Makes his path a little easier, but not having a ladder might be preventing him from going further into 6 too.
It's quite possible. Now, I recall that the Triforce itself wasn't ladder blocked, but can you get there without a ladder?
You can get around that one ladder room, and it does look like he'll be able to make his way up there. Got some Gyptos in here. What a room.
That is a lot of mummies right there. Potential item room, though, which Garion needs to find this item and get out of here pretty much as quickly as possible.
Yeah, still has quite a bit of catching up, and unfortunately takes a death from the Gyptos. Purity is making beelines through level 9, not stopping to clear out rooms with staircases. So, definitely just trying to find that shutter door, which this could be it. Or I'm surprised, or heard the Ganon first. So we have found a pig, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take 8 hits from this sword to take down the pig, and then 1 skewer of the silver arrows. Has to be very careful down to heart. We'll use a potion quickly to bring back up their health, but 7 more hits and a skewer will kill Ganon, and then any shutter door that opens immediately upon entering the room will have Zelda behind it.
Yeah, Ganon went for that first initial double hug and took 2 quick hearts away from Purity. But at this point, that many hearts, this is going to be a quick fight.
And there we have it. The pig is down. Now, will this room to the south have Zelda in it, or will we be looking elsewhere?
The game is going to make us look elsewhere, it looks like. No easy finish from Ganon's room. So at this point, the shutter door is going to immediately open, even though there are enemies wandering around. And that's... Purity just needs to kind of full clear this, unless the old man says, I am your father's brother's nephew's former roommate, and then that does nothing for you.
I thought he looked familiar. And there we finally have the raft on Garion's side. Not the item he's looking for. He does pick it up, but he at this point should know that he does not need it. I think he has found every level. So, although he picks it up, really just needs to get to the Triforce and get out of here. Hopefully head back to level 2 sometime soon.
And Piercing Mountain pointing out, Purity got eaten by a like. That magical shield that was purchased is now gone.
Yeah, and usually pretty nice, especially with Beamos and Lionel's, but with 1 potion yet to go, definitely not a worry, especially only having to find Zelda yet.
And Garion is going the wrong way in level 6. The Triforce is somewhere in that far left column close to the bottom, so a lot of time spent in this level 6.
Yeah, quite an interesting level 6 too. Purity finding a way down to the southwest. We'll see if that holds the kidnapped. Usually never easy to find both Ganon and Zelda, so a little bit of time spent here is no surprise, but Purity with a nice comfortable lead should not have any problem getting through here.
Yeah, it would take quite the troll 9 to get Garion even in 9 at this point. Which could happen. It could be bomb hole behind magic stair, behind another bomb hole. You never really know.
Yeah, level 9 likes to be good at that. Staircase does take Purity to a decent area where they can at least progress. Now they are getting a little low on bombs, so that could be a little concerning, but we have an old man telling us banana jam.
Alright, that's 2 of the possible 3, and they're just kind of laughing at you. They're just having a good old time in level 9.
Another possible staircase in this room. Not a staircase, but there is a bomb hole, and
so Garion has a bomb upgrade. He was down to 7 bombs, now he's up to 12, so that was plus 5.
I guess silver lining.
That will make finding the bomb hole in 2 a lot better.
And Purity just making quick work of all these rooms. Now, it does not hurt to still clear out these rooms because compass drop is still a thing, which would really help them find their way over towards wherever Zelda is.
Yeah, at this point it looks like northeast or southwest. Has explored a lot of the diagonal going from the northwest to the southeast.
Yeah, northeast would kind of make sense here just because of how the exploration has gone. Now remember, just because Purity has cleared out what they have in level 9, they have also been through a lot of rooms where they haven't seen a shutter door. It's not like Ganon to where everything is like a total clue, but you can sort of gauge, I have a lot more in the northeast to check out, so Zelda very well may be up there.
It might be a magic staircase required at this point, or a bomb wall, but when you're down to one bomb, you don't really want to just go bombing every wall. Garion finds, hey, there's a Triforce on the ground here. Let's get out of level 6. I want to say this is a new section of the Southwest for Purity. Forces a bomb. Very nice.
Yeah, very good job to be aware of what you need to do, working up that bomb count and taking out the enemy.
I think Garion's gonna make a play for 8 now, which don't blame him. I mean, 2 items.
Absolutely, and we are up in the northeast now, which is great for Purity. 2 shutter doors, you know that neither will be Zelda at that point, and just gonna tank some hits here from them also go pick up the bombs. No real big deal to do that, and then we'll be able to explore a little bit more. So we'll see if we have anything up here in the northeast.
Shouldn't have any problem clearing this entire section out, I would think.
No compass there, so we will be returning probably to check out the other shutter door rather than try to do too much bombing at this point. But we'll actually bomb anyway.
Hey, you never know. This might lead to it, or it might not.
Just another potential staircase. Now remember, we haven't actually seen the book or the N key yet either, so even if they open up a staircase, it's not even guaranteed to be transport. It could be one of those 2 items, which at this point both are equally useless.
Oh, definitely. You don't want to find those at this point. And hey, that door opened.
And folks, get out your GGs. We have Purity the Kitty finishing in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 20 minutes, 22 seconds.
GG's to Purity. And Garion soldiers on and level 8.
Okay, and we do have Purity the Kitty with us. Good game.
GG's. Oh, and Lytle's not playing nicely with Garion there.
Okay, not sure if Purity's having some trouble on mic or something, so as soon as they're able to talk to us, we will get them in here. But we do have Garion continuing on, trying to get through this. Unfortunately, we'll not find what what is needed.
Hello.
There we go. There's Purity. Good game. What a seed, huh?
Yeah, I was freaking out when I found that ladder. Because here's the thing. Had I gone back in when I had bombs early on when I grabbed the Triforce, I left 2 and was like, okay, I'm going to check the coast item and go back. When I saw the solid wall of Wizrobes, I noped out. But I didn't go back into 2, and that was my huge mistake. I'm guessing Garion did the same thing?
Yeah, neither of you were able to get through 2 with magic bomb walls and everything else, so he's actually digging every single other dungeon for ladder at this point instead of going back to 2. So both of you ran out of bombs in 2 and just didn't return for quite a while.
Yeah, and that was really what got me. When I got the Triforce in 2 at the beginning, and I remember this because I'm still kicking myself for it, I had bombs, or at least, I don't remember if I had 8 bombs, but I remember I had bombs, because I went up to Lost Hills after that and wasted a couple. And it's hilarious, because had either of us done that, it was a 40-minute seed. Red Ring, bow, silver arrows were right there.
Yeah, that was definitely the key, and I think the reason you initially left 2 is because you only had 1 key and you opted, I'm not going to spend it right now, I'll come back if I have to, and opted to search elsewhere. And yeah, that was the big determining factor here in this seed, was getting that ladder out of 2.
Yeah, I was actually okay throwing the key because it is level 2, and there's usually tons of keys and open rooms in level 2. And because every connected room is bombable, there's usually a way to get through. So I wasn't worried about the key. What was going through my head, biggest thing right at the time, was that I had not found any of the overworld items. I didn't want to go back into a dungeon for an item without knowing what the Armos item was, because remember, I died on Death Mountain, and what the coast item was. Because I'm like, okay, if the overworld items are bow, silver arrows, I'm in go mode.
Yeah, seeing silver arrows in 1 probably had to be a huge sigh of relief that at least your 9 wasn't going to be as horrible trying to search down silvers on top of finding the pig and Zelda.
Actually, the opposite, because looking at the matchup, because the silvers were free, I was even more scared because I thought I was behind. Garion would have no combat issues getting those silvers and would have an easier 9. The harder the combat got, the more I thought I could catch up.
Yeah, you guys did have a favorable matchup in the dungeons. Getting Wizrobes on the overworld is always nice, except when they block your paths to a lot of areas like the coast and stuff like that. But I did mention when you were in 9 that you had to believe that you were behind just because of the location of the ladder. If your opponent sits there and digs, you know that they have silvers already. They were able to skip a few items in dungeons and stuff like that. So yeah, I can definitely get where that concern could have come from.
At the very start of the seed, you found the wood sword a lot earlier than Garion did. I think it was like around 17 minutes when Garion finally made their way up to the White Sword Cave. So that kind of gave you an early advantage, and then the ladder itself, just getting that, and Garion's still searching level 8 right now without a ladder.
That was a really dickish place for the wood sword, not gonna lie.
Yeah, with that, the Pole's voice up there, I mean, as I said, it's simpler if you are at 5 hearts at that point. You already have the bow and arrows, but, you know, there's no reason that you could have found that. And we do actually have a forfeit from Garion. Comments, I hate finding the bomb hole, which is exactly what the seed was. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can get Garion in here as well for a few thoughts before we head on out.
Yeah, the bomb holes made themselves known this seed. There's a lot of the levels had them, and it was required to progress.
Oh yeah, this was definitely a find the bomb hole seed. and I'm glad that I am pretty good at find the bomb hole.
I believe Garion has joined us. How's it going, Garion?
Alright, good game, Purity.
Good game. That level 2 troll.
Is that where the ladder was?
Yeah, and I ended up getting it an hour in. I got 2 very early, got the Triforce. I had bombs. I was like, I'm going to check the coast, and then I'm going to come back and get the item out of 2 if it's not, if the coast item isn't like bow or something.
I never got the item.
Effing whiz robes. Wall of whiz robes, man. Wall of whiz robes.
Yeah, I gave up on 2, and I was playing Find the Bomb Hole in 8, so I just finally quit once you were already done.
Oh, that 8 was super trolly. I spent like 20 minutes in there.
Yeah, the rough thing about the 2, and Purity actually did this, is there are actually 2 bomb holes to the left, and one didn't lead to the ladder. It actually led to just the map that made you realize, oh, I have another bomb hole that I had to find to get the ladder. So, I mean, it just wasn't nice. The whole layout, too, was rather nasty.
I'm actually glad I found the one with the map, because the way to the ladder after that bomb hole was another bomb hole. So I'm really glad I had that map.
Yeah, and behind the bomb hole, that first bomb hole, that's where the orange gurias were if you wanted to farm for bombs, because otherwise that too really wasn't giving you bomb droppers, other than like 2 Gibdos in that horrible trap room.
Yeah, I think I went looking for bombs at least twice in 2 and finally gave up and never did end up going back again.
Oh, I spent from about the time I got out of level 8, I was on 2 bombs, and I was bomb screwed until about 56 minutes when I found 4, cleared it, still had no bombs, and finally gave up and bought 40 rupee bombs.
I think you ended up spending like a total of 160 rupees on bombs this seed, Purity, because I think you filled up to 8 twice.
I believe you're right. It might have actually been 200. I bought, as soon as I saw that red ring, I'm like, all right, I wish I checked Coast earlier. Buy bombs, all my money goes to bombs.
All right, so with that win, Purity, you are going on face of Gedney. Unfortunately, Garion, your time with us in this tournament is over, but it has been a pleasure having you. I know that you are most likely still going to be running a lot of randomizer races with the nightlies and everything else, so thanks again for participating and putting on a good show for us. Definitely been a joy to have you.
Well, thanks to you and the other admins for running it, and thanks for all the commentary, restreams, and trackers.
Purity facing Zeb. Zeb's not an easy opponent, but we know how Randomizer is. We know that you definitely have the capability of beating a lot of people. So what's your thoughts on facing Zeb in this next week?
If the luck goes the way it has the entire tournament, good luck, Zeb, going forward in the loser's bracket. If the curse finally stops, you're toast, buddy.
All right. Well, just to give people an idea of what's going on the rest of tonight, right now we do have 2 other races going on. I think RC had just finished in first place against Zardia, but we do also have Saber and Dragon Dart going on over on Speed Gaming. Both are in level 9, searching for Ganon and the Princess, so very close race over there. We also have one more race tonight between Chestrick and the Greenleaf Effect. This is an elimination match, and that will be on Speed Gaming 2 at 11 o'clock. So definitely be sure to check those out. Want to say give both of these runners a follow. Both very good runners, and hopefully we'll see them be doing a lot more of Zelda 1 Randomizer as well as other things in the future. And Thanks again to my co-commentator Theorwolf. Give him a follow, and Lori DeBeaver behind the scenes for doing tracking, and Narasha for our restream tonight. Thank you all for helping out.
Thanks to everybody. Give Krim a follow as well if you haven't already. Also a great Zelda 1 runner and plays other stuff too. Just thanks everybody for your involvement in this tournament. It's been a fun tournament and it's going to keep going on.
Follow everybody. The Zelda community is great. Come out to Speedruns Live, run with us. Zelda community's been a great family for me for 20 years, and I hope to spend another 20 with these guys.
All right, and I think that is going to do it for us on this side. Once again, head on over to Speed Gaming to check out the remainder of the Crystal Saber Dragon Dark match. Check us out on Speed Gaming 2 tonight, and give Randomania and the Speed Gaming channels a follow as well for all their great events. That will do it for us. Once again, for our runners, garionoldwolf and Purity of the Kitty, for my co-commentator Theorwolf and Narastra and Lori DeBeaver behind the scenes, I'm Crimson Alex. Have a good night, everyone.